Hello everyone, this is Diane. I have been working on this listing for my shop for several weeks, and I'm so glad that I think I'm ready to have it listed in my shop. I have 10 of these boxes. They are flat rate boxes, so this will be US only because I think that the weight of the box will be prohibitive for shipping internationally. If you really want one and you don't live in the US, you can message me and we'll see. But I'm going to list it as US only, I'm sorry. So what is in here is Destash. There are scrapbook papers, there's all kinds of papers, book pages, and then I'm going to put in the bonus of some books and book covers. So this will ship for $20. I'm going to charge $30 for the box, so it'll cost you $50 to get all of this stuff in here, and when you see everything that's in here, I think that you will think it's worth it. So when you open your box, there will be 2 book covers and 2 books sitting right on top. I'm going to give you the option of choosing your set of book covers. And then the rest is paper. So what I've done is there's 12 by 12 paper on the bottom, a lot of it. And this is a 12 by 12 box, so it fits very snugly in there. So in order to make it easy for you to get your paper out, I have put a strip of fabric across the bottom and then laid the paper on top of it. So I mean, you could lift out the ones that aren't 12 by 12 very easily, and then just pull on that to get the rest of them out. I had added some more 12 by 12 to this, so there's some on top. I want to make sure this gets back in the box so I don't forget. So I've just added a lot more to the top of this box, to all of them actually, because I had some more books that I had to take apart and go through. So I'm going to go through this one box, and they are all very similar. The papers will be different, of course, but the quantities will be pretty equal and the types of pages pretty much the same. So I'm just going to go through this as quickly as I can because there's a lot of stuff in here. So this is a couple sheets from a stenciling book. So it's heavy manila cardstock, and you were supposed to cut those out and use them as a stencil. They're plain on the back. These will be really fun to use in journals. And just a variety, put this where you can see it, a variety of book pages. There's each package gets a little tiny book, and they're all different books. There's crafting books. This is from a vintage book about, it was municipal related, and it had maps in it and also advertising for municipalities and boroughs and towns to purchase for their public uses. So there's some of those advertisements in here, which are really cool. School buses, lighting for the streets, machinery, parking meters, garbage cans, things like that. This is from a decorating book. A book about Jeopardy, the game show. Lots of vintage pages. This is a landscape page, so this will be awesome to put in a journal. It's a children's cookbook from American Girl. All the boxes have quite a few pages of that. There's calendar pages in every box. This was a calendar about quilts. Some of them are doubled. This one is doubled. A crafting book. Books on collectibles and antiques, children's vintage book pages. I just love the texting, the typewriter font in this, not texting, text. Some small pages that just have some really cool quotes that you can use. Children's art books. Large pages, small pages. I'll try to go through this a little faster because I have to show you all of the sets of book pages, book covers. All of the boxes have several pages of this, and it's songs that are typed out, and then they have chord letters at them for playing on your guitar. So they're pretty cool looking pages, and there's quite a few there. It's a sign language book. Children's dictionary. Some extra long pages that I folded. There's some nature books. More children's books. Russian dictionary, some science. So if you think about, if you watch my videos, have watched my videos for a couple of years, you'll have seen all of the big variety of books that I get at flea markets. And so I am sharing bits of all of those books with you, houseplants. And you don't have to buy all those books and tear them up. This has been a lot of work for me, I have to tell you that. Some map pages. This was a book about dolls, collectibles, some shorthand pages, music, old dictionary, math book, some coloring book pages even. I just threw this glassine bag in there. There's a couple of cutout cards, some wallpaper. Every kit gets several pieces of wallpaper. Quite a few pieces, actually. We're still on wallpaper here. There's a lot of wallpaper here. Lots of wallpaper. And then I just put in a little stack of old vintage, like notebook paper or office paper and stuff like that. I think every pack has something different. This it happens to be vintage 3-ring binder paper. You can tell it's old. And some plant cards, the kind that go in a binder and they open out. Every kit gets those. And these are from a sewing binder. Some more variety of office type of papers. Craft book. More office papers, graph paper. These little scheduling types of papers. They come on a tablet. And that one. Smaller pages that came out of little notebooks and journals and things. Some vintage magazine pages. This came from a shabby chic book. These are great images. I think I'm sure every box has a couple pages from that. Several of those pages there. Some more of the gardening pages. I just added to the pile as I came to things. Now there are 2 pieces of this engineering paper with the red grid, and they're large. This was on a large roll, so that's a big piece right there. And then there's another piece here. The sizes of the pieces vary because I was cutting away and I didn't know what to do with them, and then I decided to just put them in these kits. This is from a craft book, an old dictionary. These would be really fun to cut out and use. And these are great to use as journaling cards because they're a grid you can write on. I thought that was such an awesome little book. Some more craft books, some more office-y papers. Lots and lots and lots. Lots of paper. Appointment book pages, grid paper. And then we get to the scrapbook paper at the bottom. Your box will probably, I'm not going to go rearrange all of them, but they'll probably have some scrapbook papers somewhere in the midst of what I just showed you, because I added some more after I put these on the bottom. So there's some 8x8, and these are all, they have text on them. It came from a pad of paper that had papers with text. I think it's 7 Gypsies, so there's several of those. There's some small pieces, and then the large pieces. And I lost count. I think I was up to 60 when I was counting, but I lost count, so I'm not sure. I'll just flip through and you can see what types of papers you could be getting. They'll all be different, of course. Some of them are the cut aparts. Some of them are cardstock, some are paper. I didn't realize that one had 2 of the same thing. Try to get that in the frame. And I was trying to count, but I lost count again. Yeah, there's more than 60 in these boxes. More than 60 12 by 12 papers, plus some smaller pieces too. So that's the paper that you get in your box. Now, I'm going to go through the sets of books, and I have 10 sets. You will get 2 book covers and 2 books with the pages still in them. So this set will be called Physical Chemistry. I'm going to have these in 2 listings because there are 10, and I want to have more than 1 photo of each set. So I'm going to put them in 2 listings, and then you'll have a drop-down box in which you can choose your title. So this one is called Physical Chemistry because it has a Bobbsey Twin book on the top, but I have more than one Bobbsey Twin book in this collection here, so to avoid confusion, I'm calling this one Physical Chemistry. So the Bobbsey Twins, Adventure in the Country. I don't want to take too much time doing these. 1961, and it has all of the pages with illustrations inside. And then this will make a really cool junk journal. It's one of the science books that I got at the flea market a few weeks ago. I decided I got too many of them. So I put several of those textbooks, they're not all science, but I put several of the textbooks in this collection. And this is 1962, and it has all of the pages inside. And then the book covers are a Reader's Digest book cover. And this book cover that says Animals You Will Never Forget, which is a Reader's Digest publication, and it has those cool drawings of animals on the fronts, and these are the end papers with all of the different footprints and tracks of animals. So those are some really cool book covers with this set, Physical Chemistry. This set is called Cooking Calendar. So we have the small book is Betty Crocker's Cooking Calendar. So this would make a really cool little journal. Take that right off of the spine there. Or use it as a ready-made journal. Just take out some of the pages and glue onto the rest of the pages. So it's got all of the pages in there, and there's like a calendar page because it's a cooking calendar. So it's really cool. I guess the ladies would use this for their daily or their weekly scheduling and have some bonus stuff in there. And here's another cooking related book, The Best in American Cooking, which is a really cool book cover. That would make a fun recipe journal. And it's got the pages. I think all of the pages are in there. I don't see any illustrations. Oh, there's some. Yeah, I don't think I took any pages out of this book. And then the book covers are A New You, The Art of Good Grooming, which I thought would make a really fun cover for a journal. And The Contented Little Pussycat. Really cute. Cooking Calendar. The next one is, I'm calling this one Joans Kitty. Too many books, because this book is called Joan Wanted a Kitty, and I won't be able to put that long title in there, so I'm calling it Joans Kitty. You can see the drawing of the cats there. It's a nice little vintage book with really cool, they look like colored pencil illustrations. Very, very nice. And some black and white ones. I just love these kind of illustrations. So vintage. This is a really fun book. Look at that. 1937. Oh, I didn't have too many books. That does go here. And then these two I added two more books to this one because this one is pretty small and this one's thin. This is Once Upon a Memory, Reflections of Childhood, and the illustrations in it are very pretty. And it's got poems too, and you could even cut out these little corner flowers. So this is just a lovely book. And then Caves to Skyscrapers. This would make a fun glue book. Maybe I should zoom back out a little more. Some of these books are big. And I won't look at the dates of all of them. You can see that that's vintage. And the book covers. This one is Peter Pan. I love this. I think this is a Greg Hildebrandt illustrated cover here. And I love his work. And then Janet Marsh's Nature Diary. What a fun glue book or large journal this would make. So this set with a bonus little book is called Joans Kitty. And then the next set is Red Marble, because this is a really old book cover that's got a red marbled look, and it's got burgundy leather that it's in bad shape. It's worn, but I would still make a journal out of this. There's a little tear right there. I would definitely make a journal out of this. It's very antique. 1898. So this was a series of books by John Stoddard, Stoddard's lectures, and he traveled and then went around the country apparently and did, or maybe just published these books, but he did lectures on the places that he went with photos. And this one is California, Grand Canyon, and Yellowstone Park. So it has really wonderful black and white pictures. But I got it mostly for the cover. I got 4 of them. So I'm putting 1 full book and 1 book cover in this collection. Next we have Pictorial Encyclopedia of American History. This is volume 7, years 1861 to 1865, and of course it features the Civil War. Lots of vintage illustrations, beautiful end paper and flyleaf. This is the beginning of the Gettysburg Address here by Abraham Lincoln. Love that. Another beautiful Reader's Digest book cover. There's a couple pages in there. Somebody's screaming outside. And then a natural science book cover. Golden Book Encyclopedia of Natural Science, volume 4. And I left some of the pages within that you can use. Look at that end paper. That is cool. I was going to make a journal out of that. That's why it's all taken apart, but too many journals, not enough time. So this one is called Red Marble. Let me get the next stack over here. Okay. This set is called Jekyll and Hyde. Has this vintage little Jekyll and Hyde. It's flexible book, but it's firm. I don't see a date, but it's obviously old. The other book is another of the textbooks, General Chemistry, 3rd edition. So this would make a really fun junk journal, like Junky Junk Journal. And this is 1959. If you had the Tim Holtz laboratory stamps, how perfect they would be in this journal. And then a Nancy Drew Moonstone Castle Mystery. It's got a few of the pages tucked inside. And then this pink cover. This was a book about making stuffed animals, soft toys, but I wanted it. I took the pages out and I have used some of the pages, but I liked that hot pink cover too. So this one is called Jekyll and Hyde. Then we have Young April. This is a wonderful old book, Edgerton Castle, and it's called Young April. Edgerton Castle, believe it or not, is the name of the author. (1900). So that's pretty old. Don't think it has any illustrations, but it's got the nice aged pages, and they're soft and pliable. They're not the kind that crack when you fold them. I mean, they might crack, but they're not the thick, pulpy pages that some of the older books are. And the other book in this one is Paper Expressions, Creative Home Arts Club. It's got lots of pages inside with crafty projects. But the book itself, the cover itself, would make a really fun junk journal or clue book. Joyce Jackson Goes on a Date is an empty cover. It's got a very narrow spine, so I would definitely take the spine off and make a bigger one. And Miss Francis's All Day Long book needs to be cleaned up, but that would make a really fun journal or glue book also. I had no rhyme nor reason in putting these together. I just made piles. There's no theme. The Bobbsey Twins Forest Adventure, but this set is called Living Your Life because of the second book here. So we do have the Bobbsey Twins Forest Adventure with this really, really cute illustration of these deer. Little font, don't run away from the children. Really cute end papers. (1957), so it's in great condition for that age. It's in great condition for any age. And Living All Your Life, the Searles Readers. You could use this as the spine. It's in great condition, and I think the spine is thick enough. 1953. Looks like it's never been used. It's in that good of shape. And it's got lots of illustrations. Look at that little girl playing the piano. Then we have The Wildlife Gardener, which is just a pretty blue cover. And then this brown cover, which was 120 needlepoint design projects. So that's just a nice blank canvas for you to make a journal cover on. Remember, these books are in addition to all of those papers that I showed you and the wallpaper in those boxes. So these are like bonus. I was gonna list all this stuff separate, but I'm overwhelmed. So I am putting a bunch of stuff together, and it's a D-stash, and it's, I think, an excellent price for a D-stash for all of these things. Bobbsey Twins, Big Adventure at Home. I'm calling this set Beginning Spanish because of the larger book. This is newer. You can tell by the illustration that it's not as old as the one I just showed you. But it's really cute. That picture is adorable. And it's 1990. The cover illustration is 1990. The book itself, the text is 1960. Nice pages in here. And then Beginning Spanish is one of the textbooks that I just got at the flea market. Nice large cover. Really pretty design on it. And then I thought, I have enough foreign language pages. I don't need to take this book apart. 1963. And there are some notes written in here. Quite a few notes. It's got pictures. Got Spanish language in there. And then the blank covers are the Woman's Day Book of Houseplants. Some of these pages are in your kits. And the Picture Book of Perennials. Just nice plain cover there to decorate as you would like. I think I have 2 more sets to show you. This one is called Nancy Drew because this is the only full Nancy Drew book that I have. The Phantom of Pine Hill. And then it's got a Family Circle Do-It-Yourself book. This would make a really fun glue book, which is why I bought it. 1973. And then the plain covers are, the empty covers are this really pretty lavender. You'd have to do something to cover up the tape marks, which I do quite often, so it's not that hard to do. Doesn't really matter what the book is called because I just wanted it for the purple cover. And then this is the cover for the Shabby Chic book. Just a nice size with a neutral background to do what you want. This set is called Nancy Drew. And the last set is called Seashore. It's the only set that has a golden book. It's a vintage golden book. You can see the cover is worn. The gold label is off the spine. It cost 25 cents. It's worn here on the edges. I would Mod Podge this down. Look at how old that is. Let's see if we can find a date. There's some scribbling on the inside there. 1957. And this is a book I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen this little golden book. So this is a treasure, even though it is old. And there's some scribbling here too. The pages are good. There's a little bit of tearing right there, but they're really in decent shape. And then we have this big book. Encyclopedia of Sewing Machine Techniques. And it's not vintage, but it's got wonderful pictures if you want to do a sewing journal. And the cover itself would make a fun journal also. And the empty ones are another purple book. And it's got green end papers, which are so cool, and they feel smooth and silky. And there's one fly leaf still attached. And then this book, History of American Art. It's got this big American flag on it. So that's really cool. It's got the fly leaves attached, but they're just plain white. I like taking the fly leaves and actually using them as pages in journals. So there you have it. I have the large box of paper, which will come with 2 complete books and 2 book covers. That is quite a deal. Think of all of the journals you can make with all of these supplies. So I hope you'll come over to my shop and take a look. And remember, this is listed for United States only because it's a $20 flat rate shipping box. If you really, really want something and want to pay what it would cost to ship internationally, you'll have to message me on Etsy, at my Etsy shop. I'm leaving the link in the description of this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this long video. I hope you liked what you saw, and I hope that you'll come over to the shop and check it out. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.